Imagine a fortune so vast it defies comprehension. £2.6 million in 1963, the equivalent of over £60 million today. A king's ransom, snatched in a mere 15 minutes of audacious, shadow-cloaked action. But here is the true, chilling mystery. The money didn't just disappear from a train. It began to evaporate from the very fabric of reality itself. What if the greatest heist in British history was merely the prelude to the perfect vanishing act? This is the story of the Phantom Fortune. We begin with the first burning question. Who were these men? They were not simple brutes. They were craftsmen of crime, led by the sharp, sophisticated mind of Bruce Reynolds, a man who studied logistics as much as lockpicking. Alongside him, Ronnie Biggs, whose name would later echo as a global fugitive anthem. Buster Edwards, the charismatic frontman. Gordon Goody, the intimidating force. 15 souls bound by greed and a meticulously drawn plan. They were the architects of a legend they themselves could not ultimately control. And when? The when is a frozen moment in criminal history. 3:07 a.m., August 8, 1963, a still, dark Thursday. The when is not just a date. It is the precise second a fake green signal lamp bathed the driver's cabin in a false promise of safety. It is the 40 minutes where the world stood still for them as they transferred 120 sacks, nearly 2.5 tons of banknotes, from the high-value packages coach. They picked a perfect when. A long weekend had created a cash logjam, a flaw in the system they exploited with surgical precision. Their when was a window of unbelievable opportunity that slammed shut behind them forever. This leads us to the where. Where did the tangible world intersect with their fantasy? The location, Bridego Bridge near Mentmore in Buckinghamshire, a quiet, rural stretch of track chosen for its isolation. But the more crucial where was Leatherslade Farm, a dusty, remote hideout purchased just for this purpose. This was the sanctuary, where they would divide the mountain of cash. This was where they celebrated, where they left fingerprints on a ketchup bottle, where they played Monopoly with real money. This where became their tomb. It was the fixed point on the map that anchored their floating, ephemeral fortune to the ground, and it was their first fatal mistake. Now we arrive at the devastating what. What happened to the money? This is the vortex of our mystery. The gang's shares were substantial, roughly £150,000 each, a sum that could buy a lifetime of silence. But the what is a story of disintegration. The money began to bleed away almost immediately. Some was buried in a panic, like the £100,000 found by a hiker in Dorking Woods, rotting into a solid, mildewed brick. Some was laundered through a network of shady bookmakers and dealers. Ronnie Biggs fled to Australia and later Brazil, spending lavishly, his share nearly gone within years. Police recovered bundles, here and there, a few thousand in a phone booth, more from a left luggage locker. But the shocking, undeniable what is this. Of the original £2.6 million, approximately £2.4 million simply ceased to be. It was never listed, never taxed, never seen again by lawful eyes. It didn't just go missing, it was erased, which forces upon us the ultimate haunting why. Why has this fortune remained hidden for 6 decades? Why did the secret hold? The theories are labyrinths within labyrinths. Was the bulk of it buried in a coordinated secret network of caches, known only to a trusted inner circle? Did men like Tommy Wisby or Jimmy White take their precise grid references to the grave? Or was it cleverly washed through the burgeoning, unregulated financial channels of the 1960s, siphoned into Swiss accounts, or converted into gold and diamonds, easier to hide and harder to trace? Perhaps the most chilling why is that the money was never meant to be spent in a lifetime. It was a seed, hidden away with the intent to bloom for another generation. A legacy of stolen wealth passed down in whispers. Consider this, the psychological burden. Imagine being one of them. You have a share. The police net is tightening. You can't flash the cash. You can't trust your closest allies. Every stranger is a potential informant. So, what do? Do you seal it in lead pipes and bury it under the dead of night, marking the spot only in your memory, a memory that fades with age and fear? Do you entrust it to a shady financier who promises to make it clean and then vanishes? The why it's still missing is because the optimal solution for a terrified criminal in 1964 was to make the money disappear, not to spend it, but to uncreate it. The legacy of the robbery is a split screen. On one side, the folk tale. Ronnie Biggs sipping caipirinhas on a Rio beach, a cheeky rogue thumbing his nose at Scotland Yard. The books, the films, the rock and roll notoriety. On the other side, a much quieter, colder truth. Lives ruined, lengthy prison sentences, some, like Buster Edwards, broken by the weight of it all, ending their own story. And in the center, a void, a silent, empty space where £2.4 million should be. So, where is it? Is it still out there? Physically, tangibly? Perhaps nestled in the clay of a Buckinghamshire field, the leather handles of the suitcases long since rotted away, leaving only a sinister, polymer-wrapped cocoon of banknotes, or concealed within the walls of a now demolished house, the notes having fallen into the cavity, undiscovered by renovators. Or did it slowly, carefully feed into the bloodstream of the economy, spent so cautiously over 50 years that it dissolved without a trace? The Great Train Robbery was not a story about stealing money. It was a story about a secret so powerful, so heavy, that those who held it were crushed by its weight or chased by its shadow to the ends of the earth. The men are nearly all gone now. Their bravado, their regrets, their laughter, silenced. But the money, if it still exists, is silent too, and its silence is deafening. What do you believe? Is the phantom fortune waiting in the earth, or did it fade into the financial fog, forever out of reach? The mystery is not a closed case. It is an open grave, waiting for its truth to be unearthed. Share your theory in the darkness below. If you are drawn to the echoes of history's greatest enigmas, then become part of the search. Like this video, subscribe to the Documist, and ring that notification bell. We are not just telling stories, we are following whispers into the shadows. Join us. The next mystery is already waiting.